Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is Dr. Jan with Relationship Matters TV. Yeah, we were having a little difficulty, a little tech. You know what? We are here in Chicago, right outside of Chicago. And this is just a public service announcement for people who are here. And I know this is supposed to be evergreen, meaning that the show isn't dated, but I'm dating it today because it is January 22nd, and we are going to experience extremely cold weather, 20 to 40 degrees below, wind chill. The public service announcement is if you don't have to go outside, don't go. Because from what I'm hearing, just a few minutes in this kind of weather can cause frostbite. I'm not going anywhere. I am staying right here uh, in my studio. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be warm and toasty. So that's it. That is my public service announcement. Now, let's go to last week. Okay, the last episode. Remember, I started out with Dr. Jan's weekly relationship prescription. And I want to know out there, viewers, what did you do? Did you take the prescription as prescribed? Just as a review, listen actively. That was on the bottle. Listen actively. What's the dosage? Take 15 minutes daily to listen without interruption. Instructions: nod when you're speaking with someone, maintain eye contact, and reflect back what you heard. And what is the warning if you do not follow this prescription? Skipping doses may cause misunderstandings and distance. Now, that was last week. And what I want to know from you out there, did you follow that prescription? Did you? Now, this week, we have another prescription because I know you followed it. This week, Dr. Jan's weekly relationship prescription is speak with I statements. What's the doses? You use words like I feel or I need, not you did, you didn't, you. Use I statements at least 3 times this week. The instructions: share your feelings without blaming. And what's the warning? Overuse of you always, or, that always word, that may trigger defensiveness. So now, this is week 2 of your weekly relationship prescription. Remember, speak with I statements. Okay? All righty. Now, let's go into what we're going to have a conversation about today. Earlier today, I was on a panel with the She Universe. It's a 3-day summit with different women and superwomen. And the panel that I was on, the title of it was We Care, We Believe, We Persist. And it was geared mostly towards women who are in leadership. So the question, what does it really mean to lead with care without losing authority? How do women lead with belief when certainty is unavailable? And how do we as women leaders persist without burning out or even shrinking ourselves? In this episode, this conversation today, I would like to explore with you the leadership triad that shapes today's women leaders. And the conversation, I would like it to be beyond inspiration, but a lot of practical wisdom, examining how care becomes strength and belief becomes action and persistence becomes progress. So whether you're leading a team or your business or even your family, this particular conversation, I want it to be a challenge to you to lead from wholeness, to lead with clarity and courage without apology. Because as women, sometimes what do? We apologize. Okay. So if you're ready to lead with conviction and influence and persist, then this conversation is for you. So there were these different questions from the panelist, the head of the panel, the moderator of the panel. And one of the questions was, what distinguishes care from sympathy? I thought that was a pretty good question. Sympathy, and if you agree with me, just let me know. Just put in the chat, yeah, I agree, or I don't agree. Sympathy is a feeling. Care is when you act. So think about it, the difference. Sympathy feels with people. Care acts for people. Now, how is care practiced without weakening your authority? Because sometimes as leaders, we feel if we show that we care, they're going to think that, we don't have our authority, or that our authority is weakened. But that's not true, because how is care practiced, especially for women leaders? Because care means setting clear expectations and honoring human dignity at the same time. When you think about care is not rescuing, not at all. The other question was, what distinguishes care from sympathy? Sympathy is, I feel for you. Care means I believe in you. I believe in your capacity. So let's say that you're a leader, you have a company, it could be a big company, a corporation, or even a small company. And things happen. Sometimes you find out from your people something has really, really happened. Well, you can show your sympathy. You can say, I feel for you. But you can also let that person know, but I believe in you. I believe in your capacity. So what you do, you listen deeply, you tell the truth, and you make sure that people know that they are capable. So that's just something that I wanted to say. That's just kind of a summary. It was a lot of ideas that we got from the ladies who are on the panel. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see a QR code, and I think I'll put it up here too also, where you can watch for free the 3 days. There's another day tomorrow, but no, not tomorrow. I think it's the 27th and the 28th. But for the first couple of days, you can watch and get a lot of value from the different women who are on different panels. And of course, if you didn't see my panel, if you go to my YouTube page and you scroll down, you'll see where, what we talked about on my panel, our beliefs and our. So it was geared mostly towards women who are in business, entrepreneurs. But what I wanted to do also when I said I wanted to have a deep dive in it, I wanted to really talk about our personal lives. Okay. What does all this mean for us in our personal lives? Because I like to talk about our relationships. So, oh, and if there are Toastmasters watching, I know they're going to say my filler word is so. That is my favorite word. I'm going to try not to use it and use the Toastmasters. And that's too. Toastmasters education that I learned about speaking. Okay. Now, what, when we talk about our personal leadership, you think about persistence. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with care and believing in yourself. Belief is choosing our values even when others don't understand them in your personal life. In personal leadership, our belief means I don't have all the answers, but I trust my inner wisdom. Okay. Now, personal leadership, persistence. Persistence in our personal lives is staying aligned with what it is that we believe in. We persist when we keep choosing ourselves without hardening our hearts. When we persist, we continue the conversation, we try to heal, we set boundaries. Okay? So, personal persistence to me now is how we honor our growth without demanding perfection. Often we think that we have to be perfect, okay? In our personal lives, we think we have to be perfect, and we don't. We don't have to be perfect. We don't know everything. Now, let's talk about care, belief, and persistence together. The way we lead ourselves, that sets the ceiling for how we lead others in our personal relationships. So when you think about it, you can't abandon yourself, you know, privately. You can't lead publicly if you abandon yourself. So when you think about it, when we believe in ourselves, what do people see? They see self-trust. When we lead with care, belief, and persistence at home, then what we show is that we are grounded and we are authentic. So think about this when I say your personal lives, it could be in your family, it could be with your friends, colleagues, your neighbors, when you have that personal relationship with them. So when you think about personal leadership, you think about your own self-respect. When people see in your personal life and really in your professional life, when they see that self-respect, what happens? Think about it. When you see someone who has self-respect, what happens is you respect them. Okay? So, there I go with my soul again. I'm not going to say it so. Think about in your personal life, are you a leader? Or do you want to be a leader? Or you know that you are a leader. You think about care. You think about sympathy. You think about listening. Because as I said earlier, no matter what, you don't know everything. Be willing to listen to what other people have to say. You can really have a strong belief about something. However, how many times have you had this strong opinion about something and someone else comes with another opinion or either just says something that you never thought of? Oh, I never thought of that. I had this opinion. I had this belief, but I was willing to listen and to be open. That's in your professional life and that's in your personal life. So when you talk about leadership, leadership isn't just about managing people. It's how we manage ourselves, how we manage our own energy, how we manage our boundaries, and our self-talk. Self-talk. That's the relationship with you. Do you think about your relationship with yourself, your self-talk? Is your self-talk positive or is your self-talk negative? Is your self-talk, oh, wow, um, I had this belief and here this person and they came up with something that I really now changing my opinion or belief about something. God, I was so stupid. Ah, what kind of self-talk is that? That's negative self-talk. Why not switch it around to positive self-talk? Someone told me something. It made me change my opinion. I am so happy that I listened and I listened with an open mind. That's positive self-talk. When you think about boundaries, boundaries that you set for yourself, self-talk. Let's talk about boundaries and self-talk. Oh, this is something that one of my clients told me. They were in this horrible personal relationship. And it was my fault because I didn't set boundaries. Well, that's kind of negative self-talk. Switch it around positive. I've learned something. I've learned that I should have set boundaries. That has also happened when I've gone into corporations and the leader has called me because there are things happening within that environment, within that company, and they don't understand. My employees don't really listen to what I say. My employees come in late. And I ask, so what do you do? Well, I know there's certain things that go on within their families and going back to, I'm just showing sympathy. But what's happening? You didn't set any boundaries. Maybe this is the reason why things are happening within that corporation that you don't like because you haven't set boundaries. So think about that, setting boundaries. What does a leader do in their personal relationships and their professional relationships? I should say, and or their professional relationships, they set boundaries. Mhm. Let's talk about care. Care begins in the mirror. Mm. Belief begins in the decision. And persistence begins the moment we refuse to give up on ourselves. Think about that. That's almost like a mic drop when you think about that. How do you feel about that? Put it in the comment in the chat. So far, are you getting anything out of this? Is this conversation something that resonates with you in your professional relationships and in your personal relationships? I really want to know. Okay, I don't have anyone in the chat, but I did receive a text. And, oh, they said don't mention my name. Okay, I won't mention your name. And what they're saying is that in my family, I had not set any boundaries. And I feel that my brothers and sisters, number one, take me for granted. And number two, don't, what does it say? Don't care anything about what is it? Oh, gee, I need my glasses on. About the way I feel about anything. I never set boundaries. I just let them run over me. Okay. Well, hopefully, anonymous person, I won't mention your name, hopefully you will start setting boundaries. And they don't have to be anything just big and large. And it's also a way that you communicate your boundaries. So it's not like, okay, from now on, this is not happening. From now on, that's not happening. If you remember in Dr. Jan's week 2 of her relationship prescriptions, it's using I statements. I feel that this is. I feel that. I think this. I would like this. Okay? All righty. So now I have to take a brief commercial, and I'll be right back. If you have anything that you'd like to suggest, add, put it in the chat so that we can really talk about it. I like it when we have audience participation, when you are willing to just express your opinions. I really would like to hear it. Okay? So we will be right back with our subject matter. We will be right back. All righty. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wow. So let's keep going. I'm waiting in the chat. Okay. I prefer when you put it in the chat rather than when you text me, but although I do appreciate your text. So let's keep going as far as leadership in our personal lives. Now, let's talk about this. When women practice care, when we practice belief and persistence in our personal lives as well as in our professional life, leadership stops being a role. It becomes a way of living. How do people perceive you? Do they perceive you as a leader? Now, I'm not saying that we should all be leaders, because some of us, really, some women prefer not to be leaders, because leadership also means responsibility. Responsibility for yourself, responsibility if you are a leader in an organization or a company, responsibility there, responsibility in your personal lives, responsibility in your family, even responsibility with your friends. So if you are a leader, what kind of leader are you? Remember, I said earlier that leadership is not just managing people. Leadership is really developing people when you think about it. If you are a leader, what kind of leader are you? We see all different kinds of leaders. We see leaders who feel like it's my way or the highway. We see leaders that just sit back and don't take responsibility, don't lead at all. Sometimes they feel, okay, well, if I delegate, that makes me a good leader. But there are times when you delegate, there are times when you don't. Now, sometimes you can find a leader, personally and professionally, okay, I don't care, whatever it is you do, I'm over this, but you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And they do nothing. But you know what happens? That way, they don't have to take responsibility. So when you are a leader, remember, you take responsibility. You develop people. You can see something sometimes in people that they can't see in themselves. Maybe you have someone in your family, maybe you have someone in your organization, and you see that, my goodness, that person is extremely creative. Or that person has a tendency to think outside of the box. Or, as one of my mentors said, Dr. James Dentley, they think outside of the box. He says, don't think outside of the box. Think that there is no box. That might be a person, either in your family or in your organization, in your professional life. Do you listen? Do you welcome that person? Let me know. Let's see. Do I see anything in the chat? You all are extremely quiet. Now, I know I have several people here in the Chicagoland area and in the Northeast. So what I'm assuming is that you all are getting ready for this winter storm. Okay. All right, here. Okay. All right. A text Another text did come in. Let's see. What is it? Oh, it's a question. What does being a leader mean? Very good question. To me, leader, a leader means a lot of things. It means the ability to inspire. It means to me the ability to motivate. It means the ability to develop people. It means to be a role model, which I didn't talk about. It means all of those things. It means having a mission and a goal. And it also means to be able to have people, to communicate to people your missions and goals, and to have them believe in you. All of that to me is the definition of leadership. That's my definition. There are other definitions, I'm sure, but that's my definition. Are you that kind of leader? Do you do all those things? Now, it can be difficult. I can tell you that. It can be difficult because sometimes we do have a tendency to just want to manage. I feel in my leadership capacity with my company, I know I don't know everything. Okay, my phone is buzzing. Some more text coming in. I know that I don't know everything. I know that I have to listen. Oh my goodness. I know that I want to develop the people around me. Okay. So I was trying to pull up, we're having this weather and news. Okay, so conversations. Okay, here we go. All righty. Okay, so now there's myself. What kind of leader are you? Do you believe in what I am saying? I don't like to just be the only one that's talking. I really want to hear from you. But if I don't, you know me, I love to talk. So I'm going to keep on talking. Now, leadership, it doesn't, when we're talking about professional lives, leadership doesn't begin in the boardroom. And I'm going to take it over to the personal side. And it doesn't end when the workday is over. The way that we lead at work is shaped by how we lead ourselves. So that's going back to a lot of things I said a little earlier. How we practice care in our relationships, our personal and our professional relationships. How we believe in our decisions. How we are willing to listen. How we are willing to be open-minded. And that persistence in our growth. We all want to grow as long as we are above ground. Persistence in your growth. We can all learn something. We don't, as I said earlier, we do not know everything. We know a little bit about this, a little bit about that. Even when it comes to the point where we think, oh, I know all about that, it's always something new to learn. When care strengthens our boundaries, belief anchors our choices, and persistence keeps us aligned rather than us being exhausted. So leadership becomes sustainable both professionally and personally. We care. We should always care. How do we care? We care by honoring our humanity. We believe by acting with courage, and we persist by refusing to abandon ourselves and to abandon others. When a woman, because this is all about women, when women lead this way at work and at home, women don't just succeed. We lead lives that are whole. We lead lives that are intentional. And we lead lives that are deeply impactful. What do women do? We change cultures. We form cultures. What did Beyonce say? Women rule the world. But we don't manage it. When she says we rule the world, we rule with everything that I said previously. Okay, so let's see. My buzz, this phone buzz. Okay. The question, the text. What is the difference between a good leader and a bad leader? That is an excellent question. What is a bad leader? A bad leader is everything the opposite of what I've been talking about today. That is a bad leader. A bad leader doesn't listen. A bad leader doesn't set boundaries. A bad leader doesn't develop people. A bad leader doesn't motivate, doesn't inspire. A bad leader has a tendency to, I would say, in my words, put people down, demotivate people. That's a bad leader. A bad leader can be a demagogue. A bad leader thinks that they know everything. To me, in my opinion, that is a bad leader. So that's all I really have for you this evening. I'm just really hoping that I've given you some value, especially if you are a woman leader. And I told you earlier that I spoke on and I don't see it here now, but I spoke on a panel earlier today. So if you go to my Facebook page, you will see an ad or a promotion about the summit that I was on. And there is a QR code where you can register and you can join, especially for the 27th and the 28th. What I will do is put it back on my Facebook page because things only stay on there for so long, so that you can get a lot more, not, from me. You've gotten stuff from me, but you can get a lot of valuable insights to all of what I've talked about and other insights, even about AI, that I was very, very interested in. What I also want to say to you is I am a relationship communications coach. I coach people, not just women, people adults on how to navigate the challenges in their personal and their professional relationships. It's all about the way we communicate, the way we communicate with ourselves, the way we communicate with others. So if you feel that you would just like some coaching or you just like some conversation, I have a discovery call that you don't pay anything for. And in that discovery call, what I do really is just talk with you about the things that you feel might be lacking in your relationship and the things that you feel that you just want to improve. You can email me at jan4now125 at gmail.com. If you would like to be a guest on my show and you feel that you even know someone who you think would be an excellent guest on the show, you can email me at Dr. Jan at drjanicefortman.com. That's DRJAN at janicefortman.com. I would love to hear from you. Also, you can email me at relationshipmatterstv at gmail. Actually, if you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you would like to refer someone to me as far as being on the show, preferably email me at relationshipmatterstv at gmail.com. So I hope that I have given you some value. If you are a woman leader. And the last thing I would like to say to you is, I want you to remember there are all kinds of relationships and there are all kinds of relationship matters. Life is about relationships. So I will see you again next week on Relationship Matters TV. And let's see who my guest is next week. My guest will be, let's see, I want to make sure. Oh, guess what? My guest will be someone who is coming out with she's in a movie. She's an accomplished singer. She has been on, I think it's American Idol. Her name is Pia, P-I-A. You want to be here to hear her journey, to meet her, and to see her in a movie, in a brand new movie that's going to be in theaters all over the United States. So anyway, I will see you again next week on Relationship Matters TV. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye.